Welcome to Her Health Code.
Thank you for joining us. We are so excited to have you here with us.
We are women health coaches helping other women in midlife get through, be their healthiest selves in their most vital selves. I am Michelle. I'm a certified health coach. I'm also a licensed esthetician and a certified yoga instructor. So I have been in the health and wellness arena for, over 25 years, Jess. And I just love talking all things health. I'm also a 50-year-old woman going through the toughest time of my life, and I have a lot to share. I want to help other women feel their best in their mind, their body, their bellies, and then have glowing skin while they do it.
What could be better? I'm Jess, and I too am a health coach, and we have very similar backgrounds. I also have been certified in yoga for about 25 years, and I have a certification as well in therapeutic application of yoga, breath work, meditation, and I'm certified in detox. So I'm also a detox specialist, and I bring all of that together to help women in this time of life, this perimenopause crazy time that we're in as moms, help women navigate their health and find what works for them to feel good in their bodies, their minds, their spirits, and also their hearts. And just, it's so important to feel good emotionally so that we can show up for our families, our work, and our communities in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we are here together to bring not only our excitement and joy of health and healing and everything about health and healing to people who we know could absolutely benefit from our work, from our experiences, from the trials and errors, but we're also friends that have had these conversations together for over 6 years now.
Yes.
We met on the baseball field when our sons were in second grade.
Talking about snacks.
Talking about those terrible
snacks, right?
And ingredients. Oh my God.
Who thinks it's okay to give kids donuts after a baseball game? I mean, ridiculous.
And I think at the heart of the matter that nobody really thinks it's okay to do that, but we feel like kind of pressured and like, oh, if that mom brought donuts, I better bring it on. Bring some cupcakes. Or,
make sure you got enough sugar in that treat.
Make sure we've got that Gatorade going as well to top it all off. And so I think that we felt comfortable to make these comments to each other because I saw you bring a healthy snack and I was like, there is someone else here who is on the page and not afraid to be the outlier, which I generally before that, there's 3 years or maybe 4 years prior to that I was the outlier mom who brought, the apple slices and the orange and water.
And it's weird that you're looked at terribly when you do that, not only by other moms, because, it's crazy that other moms are looking at you like that for bringing apple slices. But really, let's be real. It's the other kids. The other kids, for some reason, kids that, they're expecting donuts and cookies and Oreos and Cheetos and all these other things. And it's just crazy. I really feel like what we need to do, Jess, and what we've talked about for years is really changing that dynamic, changing that environment. So it makes it easy for moms to just grab a bag of oranges, bring some orange slices to the game. Like, no need to stress about what to bring or how, comparing it to other moms, like sugary treats, but let's just keep it simple.
Yeah. And I think that we're here to change the narrative.
Absolutely.
Amongst moms who are in this time of life and feel that pressure a little bit from their kids, from, just kind of socially, what do? I don't want to be that kind of outlier who brings the healthy snack. Like, let's change the conversation in a way where people are wanting it. Instead of, we do want it secretly, but we're afraid to do it. Right? Like, we want it. Let's talk about it. Let's become brave enough to have that conversation amongst the other moms on our team at the beginning of the season. And I think today is a perfect day to start talking about this with our favorite topic, which is food and ingredients.
So today's first episode is all about food. So we are going
specifically the ingredients in these foods that are considered fun and convenient.
Yes.
And loved by kids everywhere.
It has never been so confusing, even for
Never.
people like us that are immersed in nutrition and all things health. It is just the most confusing environment to try to navigate. And so today we are going to try to make that a little bit simpler for you so you can navigate it in an easier way, and then hopefully maybe save some money too.
Yeah, or at least break even.
Right.
You know, it might not be a less expensive endeavor to make your own and to have organic ingredients or whatnot, but at least we can help you figure out how to best navigate breaking even at the, you know, at the very least, so that it's not going to be an extra expense, because we know that that becomes a burden as well when food becomes a sacrifice of something else that you enjoy having in life. So we want to demystify the ingredient list so that we can start having healthier snacks and healthier foods on our table. And specifically, I want to address what's happening right now, because right now I think people are very aware that ingredients in boxes and things that are pre-made, so processed foods, anything that's in a box or has a label, an ingredient label on it, is considered a processed food. And that's a buzzword right now, processed food.
Yeah.
And what do we do about all these ingredients and navigating it? It becomes a second job, really. We've
really
done
does.
it. We've literally done it.
We, you know, but I personally think it's much easier to avoid them altogether. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have a lot of treats, because let me just tell you, I like treats. In fact, sweets are my favorite. And in fact, Jess, I brought you a homemade treat because, you know, I like dessert. So I actually made this homemade dark chocolate bark. It has goji berries and pumpkin seeds and walnuts and raisins, hemp seeds, all the good stuff. And it literally took me 3 minutes to make.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. So it's beautiful. It's delicious. Your kids love it. I personally find it really, really stressful and difficult to go into the grocery store and just look at these labels. In fact, I brought an example because I will tell you, I live by the 80-20 rule. So when I show you this, my teenage boy, my son that's in college, actually still loves these Trader Joe's granola bars. But let me just tell you, the ingredient list is quite lengthy. And one of the ingredients, you know, are things that I
what
can't
do you not
even
love on there?
There's sodium bicarbonate, there's soy lecithin, there's all kinds of like terrible seed oils like sunflower oil, canola oil, and
things you can't even pronounce.
Things I can't even pronounce.
From Trader Joe's.
The list is really long, and Trader Joe's is actually supposedly a healthy grocery store, right?
Right.
I mean, so
healthier.
And I'm not saying don't
it definitely
buy these things.
Goes in with the 80-20 rule,
80-20.
right? Like you're going to buy that from Trader Joe's. It's better than the other
It's
options.
better than the ones, say, at the regular grocery store. But I would still put this in my 20.
For sure.
This is still in a 20.
And then this is the replacement.
And then, this bark, this beautiful bark would be my replacement for those granola bars. And you know what? I don't believe in looking at the calories anyways, because I think it's so much more important to get that nutrition in your body, in your kid's body, in your family's body, far more than counting anybody's calories.
Right. Yeah. And that used to be the topic.
Absolutely.
At the top of people's minds was looking at not the ingredient label, but looking at the calories and the fat and the saturated fat. And we're going to probably need to have a different episode on that.
Don't even get me talking. I grew up in the 80s when, fat-free was the thing. And let me just tell you, I ended up so sick. They had these, talk about processed foods. They had Wow Doritos. Anybody know that, comment below, because let me just tell you, that was the most disgusting product on the market. But because it was fat-free, I thought I could overindulge. And what happens when you overindulge those things?
We've all done
bad things happen, right?
Things can happen.
And I think on the back of the bag, it actually even says may cause anal leakage. Disgusting. Disgusting.
And I'm sure that we weren't reading the fine print when those things came out in our 20s.
Right?
We were just like, ooh, fat-free. Fat-free is healthy.
Yes.
That was our healthy.
Yes.
Back then was fat-free because we grew up on pre-packaged foods, right? We grew up on the convenient. I mean, my family did cook protein, and then our vegetables oftentimes came out of a can if it was not seasoned to get it out of. My grandfather did have a beautiful garden, and we did enjoy garden fresh food when it was in season.
Yeah.
But when it wasn't, it was out of a can.
Out of a can.
Fruit out of a can.
Yeah.
Veggies out of a can.
Yeah.
And a lot of convenience, like hamburger.
Hamburger helper. Yes, hamburger helper. Yes, that was at least once a week.
Oh, totally.
Yes, at least once a week.
And rice-a-roni.
Yes, and rice-a-roni. I mean, the San
cereal.
Francisco treat, right?
Of course. Can't have regular rice. No.
Right.
We need to have these flavor packets, which, are filled with things that we might not consider to be healthy.
Yeah, and I just think people get into these bad habits, and really that's what it is. It's a habit.
We grew up with those bad habits.
We grew up with it, and we had to retrain our brains and our minds and our taste bud
retraining. That's another episode, because you can do it.
You can do it. You can train yourself. I kid you
not.
You can train yourself to like kale, right, Jess?
But you can train yourself.
Yes.
You can.
Yes,
that is a huge topic, and we need to put that down as like the next episode for sure, because we could go on and on and on about the process of doing that for ourselves and for our children, for sure.
Yes.
But it's just like we have to look at food from a perspective that is different than what we grew up on, because it feels comfortable and it feels like what it's right to do, and it feels healthy because it's rice, right? And so, and it's a vegetable, but it's out of a can. So I don't know, it's like, how do we get away from what feels good and cozy and right and convenient at the same time, saving us time and energy, and get into a new perspective? I think it's really not learning how to have a PhD in ingredients.
No, gosh.
Because
I can't
how much
even
time
understand.
would you spend in the grocery store? I've done it.
Yeah.
An hour or 2 hours in the grocery store, and especially if you have a child with you, which I have to say I probably have done that a few times.
And who has that kind of time to spend in the grocery stores? Nobody, right?
It becomes too stressful. Trying to be an ingredient detective. And then we're spending time reading books to learn all those ingredients, or doing a course, or bringing lists with us, or now there's apps, which that's a newer thing. And that came out around this time where I feel like I was pretty solid on like knowing exactly what I'm going to buy and what I'm not going to buy as far as ingredients are concerned, if it's in a box. But the Yucca app was something that came out, and my son was like, ooh, let's try this. A friend's mom, is using it for her groceries. And so I said, okay, let's put the app on and go around the grocery store, give it a try. And we were at, we were not at Sprouts or Trader Joe's. We were at a regular grocery store, and I was like, go for it. Go do the box of cereal you just asked me for.
Yeah.
And now you'll know why.
Yeah.
And it was red. And so it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for a minute.
It's fun to try, but
occupies the kids for a minute.
But it's so time consuming. I really think my thought is to get women to, because of course, it is on you ladies, right? We are the keepers of our kitchen. We basically are, we are the ones that put these foods into our family's mouths. And so I personally think what really got me out of my rut is really to find some creativity, to have some fun in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
it has
really,
to be fun.
Yeah.
And not stressful.
And not put the stress on it. And so let's just take an example like rice-a-roni, because I will tell you, I have served my kids rice-a-roni because they actually like it. But there are a couple ways to do rice-a-roni different. The first being, you could give them rice-a-roni. It's not going to kill them.
Right.
It's filled with sodium, so it's not going to make them feel that great. The second way is to half and half. Do half rice-a-roni, half regular rice, or half brown rice, right? The third way is to take the flavorings, whether it be the chicken flavoring or the beef flavoring, and try to recreate it with just homemade rice made in a rice cooker, and be creative. And it actually is pretty simple. It comes down to bone broth or chicken broth and some parsley seasoning and some, and some maybe onion powder or garlic powder. And you can create the rice-a-roni feeling that kids are getting from that rice they like. So I really think if we could show moms how to be more creative in the kitchen, I think they'd again learn how to have fun again with food.
Yes, because it has to be fun.
It has to be fun.
And maybe it's not even something that happens every day, right? It could be once a week with one item. That's how I started. For sure, I was not ready to do it all at once.
Yeah.
So the way that I did it, because I realized that stressing about every ingredient and trying to make everything homemade all at one time when I didn't have solid plans and systems for all of that. It was overwhelming in the grocery store to know all the ingredients to get. It was overwhelming planning for the grocery store to have all the recipes and write down all the things that I needed. So it was like I needed to take a breath and take a step back and be like, okay, stress isn't good either. I can't do this out of fear. I have to do it out of a place of just wanting to enjoy the changes that I wanted to make that week. Yeah. So I started with one thing and then another and another. And some weeks it was just like, I'll do what I know. Right? I don't have time for something new this week. Maybe not even this month. I'll do what I know.
Yeah. Have like 3 recipes that literally you don't even have to think about. You literally put them together and they're made super, super easy. For me, I actually gave up recipes and I started literally because I have 2 teenage boys. I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old that eat a lot. And so I gave up recipes and it was the best thing I ever did because now what I do, Jess, is I literally cook a couple proteins a week and I cook some starches, whether sweet potatoes or some rice. And then I have a ton of vegetables accessible and ready to eat. And that's pretty much how I feed my kids. And in order to make it really, yummy for them, I create sauces or buy sauces or dips. And that's what creates their wrap, their bowl, their plate of, their food, whether it be lunch, breakfast, or dinner. I mean, it really comes down to what works for you and what works for your family. And it doesn't have to be so complicated.
No, it doesn't have to be complicated at all. And on that note, going back to ingredients and like, what do we do? There's not just one ingredient. It's not just, the top of what's on people's minds right now. I think the hot topic is red dye.
Yes.
Right?
Red dye.
So it's not just red dye though. That's the problem is like, okay, we're all talking about how horrible and terrible red dye is. And it's unfortunately, it's in so many foods that our kids are asking for because the box is attractive or their friends had it at school. It is not just red dye though. So, okay, when they take red dye out of food or they ban it or something a year from now, right?
Yeah.
What then?
There's so many others.
So many other ingredients, parabens, all the things that are keeping your food fresh in that box. Not good. All the preservatives. So it's really about how do we avoid those ingredient lists and all the stress and overwhelm when it comes to that. And I think that I'm going to say it, and it might be kind of controversial.
Tell me,
a little controversial to say this, but come on now. Give me a break. Like you, in order to actually make a change in what's happening with our health that is directly related to these ingredients in these boxed foods, we would have to, we really just have to stop buying them all.
I agree.
Because they're not going to ban all of these ingredients any day soon, right?
No.
So we really need to take ownership of just having enough awareness and talking about it amongst our friends, even though it might not be a popular subject, but to really talk about like, oh, hey, it's not just the red dye. There's so many other things. We need to just start going back to the whole foods and creating our menus based on real food.
Absolutely.
And here we are. We've been there, done that, decoded all of simplified it in a way that works for us, right? Where you have your system, and we're here to share those simple systems that we've come up with and help you get rid of all the trial and error and headaches that come with it, because it can be frustrating. It can be time consuming to also have to figure it all out. So we're just going to bring you episode after episode that talks about not only what you can do in your home to change whatever you're putting on the table and into your kid's lunchbox or bringing as a snack to the baseball or the soccer field if it's your week, but also to talk about all of the polarizing, opinions out there about health and about what's good to eat and you should avoid. And because there's complete opposite. Discussions
there is
happening
a lot
out
of confusion right now.
So we also want to have those conversations to help clear the way and help make it easy for you to make choices that are going to work for your own health and your own family's health and schedule.
Yeah,
and
no,
budget.
we really sympathize with you mamas out there
Yeah,
because it is
there's
a
so
really
much.
confusing time. So comment below if there's a specific meal or food that you want help with, and we will absolutely help you decode that. That is what we're here for. That's what we created this channel for, is to truly help women out with all things health. So let us know if you have something that you're struggling with in regards to food or a meal or a snack or something. But I just know that if we continue trying to make this more fun, I know that you're going to get on board with this. And I really
fun
think
and simple.
Fun and simple.
Because it can't be stressful.
Can't be stressful. But I really think it starts with you women, because if we're not doing it, the rest of our family is just going to eat whatever we put in front of them. I mean, that's the truth of it.
That's the truth.
And I hate that, it really sucks that all the pressure is on us, but that is life.
It's life. And
we can do it.
We have the power to do it. And we're here to help you create your own code that's going to work for your health, because it's different for everyone. There's no one size fits all.
No. And there's no specific right way or wrong way.
No.
There's lots of different variations, and we're here to help you figure out what's best for you. In fact,
let's talk about cereal, because that is one thing that I want to say is the hardest meal for me.
Yeah.
And I know that everybody,
lots of moms struggle.
Lots of moms are struggling with this because of time. And breakfast food.
Tell me what you do for breakfast.
So crazy with just variety too, right? So cereal is the easy go-to. Time, energy. It's like, okay, cereal is happening today because I don't have time to make something else. And so for me, that is something that I have struggled back and forth with. And I've had no cereal in the cabinet and just made breakfast every day, make it. And then I'm like, okay, no, I got to try to make my own cereal. So I tried to make a granola, because that was the main thing that my husband and my son would go to, is granola, whether it's for cereal, to eat it as cereal, or to go with a snack,
parfait.
or with a parfait with yogurt. And so I tried it. It failed. They did not like it.
Aww.
And I had great ingredients. I think I just failed on technique.
Yeah.
And the other day when I came over, you had shared with me yours.
Yes,
after our walk, made me a little parfait. And I was like, these are the same ingredients, Michelle, that I used in mine. What is your secret?
So this is my homemade granola. I've been making this for, like 3-4 years now. And my kids don't even call it granola. They call it cereal. They're like, Mom, do you have more cereal? And I literally make this every single week, and we go through this whole jar. So in my granola, we have all things nuts, seeds, oats, cinnamon, vanilla. I mean, really, really basic ingredients, but there is a secret to this granola, to getting the clumps, which I had to share with Jess the other day.
I didn't know.
Apparently. Because the clumps for kids are very important.
Yes.
So
has to have the same texture
all in the details,
as
right,
the
Jess?
one out of the box.
Yeah, it has to stay the same texture.
Yes.
So here is the secret. I'm going to give it to you, ladies. So you have to really press your granola down on your parchment paper, on your baking sheet. And after it cooks, you do not touch it. You leave it, let it cool to room temperature, at least 45 minutes, complete cool. Then you can break it up and put it in your jar.
That's where I failed.
I know.
I was in a hurry.
But now I got you, girl. And now your family has healthy homemade granola to enjoy. And this literally takes me 5 minutes. I made it last night because my kid was just like, Mom, I need cereal in the morning at 9:30 at night. And I was like, okay. It literally took me 15 minutes, and that includes the cook time. So it is so fast. It is such great ingredients, and it didn't cost me a ton of money. I mean, these ingredients, you can make many, many batches. And so this is my little health trick for the morning, and to make my mornings quick and easy and no decision making, because who wants decision fatigue in the morning? I mean, not me.
It's real.
Not me.
It's so real. And I want to say that let's decode these ingredients, because in a way that can be done on a budget, because oats are so cheap.
Oats are so cheap.
So cheap.
You
even
can get
organic
in bulk,
oats.
Right?
You can get them in bulk bin at the grocery store if they have it available, which is what I like to do, because I love avoiding plastic. That's kind of my passion, is learning how to avoid plastic at all possible times if it's available. But
how healthy oats are.
Healthy for you is also top of mind
Yep.
always, right? So
healthy for your skin,
Yep.
healthy for your gut because it's got lots of fiber. And you know, it does have some protein in it too, and not a ton, but it does. It's got a lot of nutrients in oats, and it's just good for, you know, our overall wellness.
And then you have people out there on the other side of the camp,
Yeah.
Michelle, saying, oh my God, I would never do oats. Stay
Yeah.
away from oats at all costs.
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, that's a completely polarizing.
Yeah.
We've decided they're healthy. And here's how I make
Yeah.
them into something healthy. Yes, oats by themselves, if you just put it in water on the stove
Yeah.
to make yourself some oatmeal in the morning with nothing else, or maybe like people might throw in some, you know, sugar, brown sugar, or maybe some maple syrup or something to sweeten it up if they don't like it just plain. But here's the thing, yes, that is going to spike your glucose. It's not our friend, especially at our age, right?
Yeah.
But here we go. Let's add in the things that are going to keep our blood sugars stable and the extra proteins that are going and fats that are going to be fulfilling for us and good for us, right? So those pumpkin seeds,
walnuts.
There you go, the walnuts,
the hemp seeds,
with omegas as well. They add in your fiber, your protein, your good fats. Omegas, right?
They're so good for you. And then we also have some goji berries, which are great for your skin, your antioxidants. So you're getting some goji berries in there, and
we got some sea salt sprinkled on there.
Some sea salts. You have some minerals
in there, as well. Some minerals. And then I want to also say that the maple syrup has to be in there because you have to tighten it up. And it has to be a little sweet.
Yeah, it has to be a little sweet.
So maple syrup, like I'm not hating that. Right? And the oil is coconut
oil,
so
which is good for your gut.
It is good for your gut. It is also a good fat. And there's controversy about that too. There are different opinions, different sides. We've done enough research to feel that for ourselves and our own opinions, it is not a bad fat.
But I will tell you the difference between granola, homemade granola, and cereal is my kid does not, used to in past because I don't buy it anymore, but could not get full on cereal. He would have 3-4 bowls and he still wouldn't feel satisfied.
Right.
Where if he has one bowl of granola, he feels great and he feels full and satiated, and it's because of all those amazing healthy fats.
Right. And fibers and proteins that are added to that oat.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can also make your oatmeal on the stove with these ingredients.
You can.
Because that is actually how I use those exact ingredients on the stove to make hot once a week. But if I could make this and keep it clumpy, then it would be so amazing as well, because it's like a new meal. It's totally like a different meal.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
And you can add on the stove, I will say that I like to add in some apples and some cinnamon. Obviously, you've got cinnamon there, but I do throw in the cinnamon in my pot as well when I'm making the hot oatmeal. And so there's your ingredient edit, decoding all of these different nutrients that you can find in the ingredients that we've put into, that Michelle has in her granola. And I will say that, you know, what I've been doing for cereal, because I failed at my attempt. So I found the healthiest cereal I could find, because let's just be real, that cereal is a good go-to snack after school, snack before bed when it's like 9:30 and my son is like, I'm hungry again. And I really don't want to go back to the kitchen to find or make something to put together for him. And it is a good, you know, go-to breakfast on those mornings where it's like, we got to get out the door and we're running a little late. So I found a cereal that I don't hate. And I like Cascadian Farms brand.
Okay.
And I buy this one that is Hearty Morning Fiber.
Okay.
And it is 30 grams of whole grain, and it has 11 grams of fiber and 6 grams of protein. So when paired with a nice grass-fed whole milk, and I don't cheap out on that one. I do buy the expensive, all the things, A2, grass-fed, pasture-raised, because all of those good fats and nutrients are in that milk, and it adds, you know, and it's whole milk. It adds another 8 grams of protein and the good fats for the brain that needs to think at school all day. So it becomes a decent breakfast or snack after school or before bed. So I also like that they have an environmental component with one of the grains that they use. So one of the grains that they use is kind of a newer grain on the market.
What is it?
I honestly, this
Amaranth?
this is my menopause moment.
Oh,
I
having
cannot
a grain
remember the
moment.
name of this
Yes,
grain,
yes.
but it is very sustainably grown. It doesn't
Okay.
need a lot of water.
Okay.
And I will put this in the description when we
Okay.
post it so that
Okay.
you know. But yeah, I just like that component to it as well, because I always like to also find things that are sustainable and friendly for the environment and Mother Nature, who's giving these beautiful ingredients to us to nourish our bodies. I think that's also very important. So I always just try to find the good in something. Like, okay, it's in a box, it's processed, it has minimal ingredients, doesn't have any seed oils, doesn't have crazy amounts of sugar in it, and it's also doing something good for Mother Nature, even though it's in a plastic bag.
Yeah. So what we would like you to do, because this is all about helping you figure out what works for you, is try a healthy homemade granola and try cereal for your family, for yourself, and then see how your gut feels, see how your energy feels, see how your satisfaction is.
Here's your health coaching tip, Michelle.
Right? That's my health coaching tip. I want you to pay attention. Like, try both on your kids, on yourself, and then really kind of pay attention to how you're feeling, how your kids are feeling. Ask them after, they've eaten, did you have enough? Did you feel satisfied? Because that is really important.
Yes.
And so play the health detective at home and let us know how it worked. Let us know which one you liked better, whether it be a healthy store-bought box cereal like Cascadian Farms, like Jess suggested, or a healthy homemade granola. You try, you let us know.
And we will have to give these recipes.
Absolutely. I'll post them down in the show notes. So if you want to try out my specific recipe, but just remember my key tip, let it cool completely.
Yes.
Because then you'll get your chunks.
That is the important factor.
Yes, that is the key part in all of it. So,
and my coaching tip for everyone today is just don't stress.
Yes.
80-20 rule. Yes. You have to have grace with yourself. Absolutely. Because stress is an energy that is also not ideal for our health.
Stress is terrible.
Yeah, and if we're feeling stressed, it's because of either we're worried or we're feeling maybe fearful. And those are super low frequency energies and emotions that are also feeding our cells, because our cells do feed off of our emotions. Yeah. And that is coming from my yogic meditation background here. And so that's my little coaching tip for you, is just have grace with yourself. Don't stress, have fun, and don't sweat it. Just keep it simple.
I love it.
And do the best you can today. Yeah. Right? Tomorrow's a new day.
Yep. But make sure, if you have any questions for us, list them down in the comments below, and we will try to get to each and every comment, because that is what we're here for. We're here to help you. So we are so excited that you joined us today. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back with more episodes to follow in the future. So thank you again.
And those of you who are listening on a podcast, I know that there are comments to make, but there is a way to contact us, either through YouTube. So you can find this video on YouTube. Yep. Or you can leave us a 5-star, leave us a review.
Leave us a review.
It doesn't have to be 5 stars.
Yeah, you can leave us a review.
Give us however many stars you think that we deserve.
Yes.
Hopefully it's 5.
Yes.
And leave a review. And in that review, it could be like, one thing that you liked about the show, or that you want to say about the show to help people understand why you liked it and how it was useful and helpful to you. But also you can include your questions there if you're a podcast listener. So again, like Michelle said, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're so grateful for you. Thank you for joining us and being part of this community of moms who are mindful of our health and our family's health. And we just want to do better and we are in midlife. So we want to have as little stress as possible, because we are not able to manage all of that, craziness anymore.
Yes. And we will be getting into all things midlife, such as HRT, menopause, craziness, all the symptoms of menopause in future episodes. So just wait.
Yes, and this is not just a podcast about food, although we will be dropping episodes about food very regularly, but we will be talking all things health related, and especially things that are very popular right now that are out there with polarizing opinions. So we thank you again for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right, see you soon.